over them with you, but we're just restarting her home medications. Well, I don't see the blue pill. Where's the blue pill? What was the blue pill called? Starts with a Z or something. If you're talking about the Zoloft? Yes, the Zoloft. There's a blue pill missing. So I actually have Zoloft in there. She still is getting the correct milligrams, but there's two, these are the Zoloft, the two white pills. And it equals the amount of the blue pill. No, because she only takes one blue pill. And you have two white pills. Right, but it's the same milligrams. So the blue pill is 50 milligrams. These are each 25 milligrams. So 25 plus 25, that's 50 milligrams. So she's still getting the same amount of milligrams that she normally gets at home. We just don't carry the 50 milligram. But the one she takes at home is blue. How do I know that this is the same thing? Hi. Hi, how can I help you? Are you the nurse for my papa? Actually, yes, I am. How can I help you? I mean, I haven't seen anyone all day, so I was just curious if you were the nurse. Oh, okay. I've been his nurse today. When did you get here? Probably about 2:30. It's 2:32. Okay. What can I help you with? I was just curious if anyone's gonna check on my papa while I'm here. I mean, he's in the ICU. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually why I sit right outside the room. I can view both of my patients at the same time, and I see their vitals at all times. I'm just sitting here catching up on charting. But what can I help you with? I just want to introduce myself. Nice to meet you.
DopeBoysMusic.com. I'll be damned.
Ass fat, 40-inch hair, yours came in the pack. Camera so fat, you can see it from the back. Go bad bitch, go bad bitch, go bad bitch.
Hi, is everything all right? I heard the vent was alarming. Oh, we were just trying to wake him up to see if he can hear us. Oh, okay, that's understandable. So, since the patient is on sedation, he might be able to hear you, but there's a lot going on. With the drugs he's on, the ventilator, all the tubes and the lines, this might really overwhelm him. So the best thing we can do for the patient is to actually leave them alone and decrease stimuli. So we can't talk to him? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. You can talk to him. It's just, think of it this way. If you were laying in a bed and you're not exactly sure what's going on, we're presuming that he doesn't know what's going on, but you can feel and hear a lot of things happening at once. You could get overwhelmed or overstimulated. And so when that noise goes off on the vent, we call it bucking the vent. And it can happen when the patient is agitated. So sometimes overstimulation can agitate the patient. So it is okay if you talk to him. If maybe one of you sits at the bedside calmly talking to him, it'll be okay. But multiple people at once and talking over each other is not a good idea. Oh, okay. Thank you. That makes more sense. Thank you. You're welcome. If you have any other questions, just let me know. I have to share this with you guys. What? One of my friends just sent me this news article from her hometown. This girl right here, her name is Maddie Russo. She's 19 years old, and this is her GoFundMe, Maddie's Fight Against Pancreatic Cancer, $37,000 raised so far. This is the report for her arrest. She was charged with theft when she received over $37,000 in donations for a false cancer claim. This is a Class C felony. This is straight from her GoFundMe. It says Maddie Russo found out on February 10th, 2022 that she has pancreatic cancer and has been going to battle since to win this war. Maddie is currently undergoing vigorous chemo and radiation treatments that make her very sick. But just like the Maddie we all know, she never gives up and she's a fighter. Goes on to say it's been very hard on her family. Here's the January 9th update of this year. This is an update from January 9th of this year. It says her cancer has progressively gotten worse. It's spread throughout her blood and also her spine now. She's tried everything and given it her all. Chemo, radiation, and other methods have no longer helped. She's now signed up for a clinical trial, and maybe this will be the miracle to put her in remission. It says this process is not short, but years ahead. Yet she's still smiling even with feeding tubes and IV poles. Let me show you the pictures. Here's our girl with her feeding tube that's not primed. Looks like TPN. Let's go closer to her nose. Is that the... end of the feeding tube. What is going on with that chest port? I am not a chemo nurse, but this doesn't look like a port to me. The dressing is really screwed up. To me, it's giving G-tube vibes with that little circular piece right there. This was on her GoFundMe. Apparently this girl even went to fundraisers and conventions for people with cancer to speak on it. Here's another article. I feel like I've been rocked to my soul. After learning last week that a football-sized tumor is attached to her spine, she's trying to make sense of what is going on. A football-sized tumor on your spine? She was given an 11% survival rate for 5 years. Says she began chemo and radiation. 3 months later, Maddie learned that the tumor was shrinking and responding to the treatment, but at the same time found out that the cancer had spread to her blood when she was diagnosed with leukemia.
Happy Easter, everybody. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it's Easter. I'm glad it's Easter because that means I can start to see the finish line until I finish chemo, radiation, and get rechecked, and hopefully it is gone or shrinking, hoping for great news. I think I...
Story time of when I realized that the way I grew up was not normal. I want to preface this by saying that I no longer blame my mother for the way I grew up. Well, a lot of therapy has gone into me the past 3 years. And I've realized that the way I grew up, my mother was just using the tools that she had to raise me like she was raised. And unfortunately, she had a very abusive past, just like I did. I grew up in a very chaotic household. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of cursing, a lot of hitting, a lot of spitting, dishes thrown, and mental abuse. So much mental and emotional abuse. There were times in high school that I would gather my things and my dog, and go stay with my best friend and her family. I didn't think I was gonna cry. So that I could avoid the line of fire at my house. Not to mention the boys I dated growing up had a lot of childhood trauma as well. One of my boyfriends and me kind of grew up together, traumatizing each other because that's what we knew. When me and my long-term boyfriend broke up, I met my now husband. And when I finally met his family, I was like, the jig is up. Where's the cameras? Where's Ashton? I don't believe any of this shit for a second. His parents weren't screaming at each other in front of company. They didn't seem to scream at each other ever. His dad seemed like he'd never heard a fly. I was like, false. And my husband could not understand the way I fought for the longest time. And by the way, I used to throw shit like DVD players and break them. Until the first holiday he spent at my house with my family. When one of my family members lost their cool and screamed at the top of their lungs for everyone to get out of the kitchen, my husband, my now husband, boyfriend then, was stunned. He was too stunned to speak. And I'll never forget that ride home. He was quiet for a while, and finally he said, I get it now. I'm like, you get what? He's like, I get why you scream and why you throw shit when you argue with me. I'm like, boy, I've been trying to tell you this whole damn time. Because if you didn't know, we're typically products of our environment. From that point on, I definitely had to work a lot on my anger management, but my husband gave me a little bit of grace. And I started to see more and more whenever I would visit his family that there is such thing as a calm environment for your family. His siblings didn't live in fight or flight like mine did. His father loved his kids. I even remember the first time I saw him loving on his daughters, I was like, what the fuck is this? Go to part 2. Congrats, Mama. Congrats. What's her name for the birth certificate?
Her name's Taintly.
I'm sorry, what? I misunderstood you.
Taintly.
Taintly.
No, Taintly.
Taintly. No S.
Mm-hmm.
No plural, just singular. Taintly.
It's so unique,
Wow.
right?
How'd you come up with that one? Wait.
Now.
now because people that can't take pills, can't take vitamins. Oh my god, I need to crush it up. It's too big. I can't swallow it. Shut up.
Shut up.
Freak me out.
You really freak me
I'm about to take my vitamins and probably before I do this, you're gonna want to know what they are, huh? Okay. Flip day. This is beet root.
Can you be my patient?
B12.
Don't let me down.
Fish oil.